One of the films that's making the rounds in limited release, and well, it's also been co-opted by Hollywood, is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. This was a Swedish sensation, and it's the first of a trilogy. And there's the second film. I was surprised to hear this, but we have a Swedish critic here in Atlanta, and she proudly told a couple of us that the second film and the third film have already been made and been released in Sweden. So the talk is, of course, that David Fincher has been attached to the U.S. remake, much like the co-opting of Let the Right One In, the vampire picture that was made in Sweden. But tell us a little bit about what The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is all about.
Well, the movie, of course, centers around the title character, and this is a girl who has a very troubled past. She's a very tough and mysterious girl. She doesn't give much away. And so her job, basically, she's a professional hacker, and she's the best. She can crack any code and get any sort of information that you want. Through a lot of story devices, she gets paired up with a journalist named Michael Blomquist, I think, and he is hired by an incredibly wealthy older man to investigate the disappearance of his daughter, which happened, decades ago. And so these two end up tracking down this mystery, and there's so much to the plot. I'm just going to leave it at that because it twists and turns and things converge, and I couldn't possibly summarize it all right here.
One of the subplots, of course, involves the murder of women and the serial killer of sorts that is killing women, and that becomes the focus of the investigation. It's also written by a deceased author. His name is Stieg Larsson,
right?
And he died in 2004, so the books have some age on them and are probably going to be updated a bit. The movie is very technologically savvy. The hacker in the movie, who is the girl with the dragon tattoo, I don't think we're giving anything away there. She's a real tough chick, sort of in keeping with the whole tough chick thing that's going on right now. Basically, she uses technology in order to surreptitiously and secretly spy on people, one of which is this journalist. When I started watching it, I said, oh, this is the Da Vinci Code. And I thought, my gosh, and they're going to remake this in America? Please, please don't let them Ron Howard it. And make it. And I read the Da Vinci Code, and it was very intricate, and the movie didn't do it justice, and the sequel was marginally better. What do you think about The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo being remade?
Well, when I first heard that this was going to be remade in America, I immediately thought, well, let's organize a boycott, to make sure nobody actually pays to see this, because frankly, it's just not necessary. This is a Swedish movie, but really it gives American action fans anything they would want.
It's really slow, though. I mean, for a long time they're focusing on the investigation. You don't think it should be remade, right?
No, I don't. But the one thing, I was immediately against it, but then I heard that David Fincher is attached to it, and I thought, well, if any American director can maintain the right tone and tell this story and with a great look similar to the original, he's probably the guy. Now you have a little bit more optimistic attitude toward it.
I mean, obviously David Fincher made the I guess semi-modern classic Fight Club 7 before that, and then later he made a movie that not too many people saw called Zodiac, and this movie and Zodiac share a lot in common. Zodiac, I said, was the procedural because it was so methodical in the way it progressed forward in the investigation of the Zodiac killer and so forth. This movie does the same, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and I think that Fincher could, like he did with Zodiac, make that interesting. And I think that, if anything, the foreign film, the Swedish version, wasn't creepy enough. And I think that what David Fincher could do is up the creepy factor and give it a real rawness that I don't think that they did with the original. Now, the one thing, raw. This Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is for adults only. The sexuality in the film is not something that I think could be duplicated in America.
Frankly, the art house crowd is going to see the original, and so if they remake this movie for American audiences, they're probably going to go more broad, which means there are a few sort of brutal scenes of sexuality, and then there are some more that are sort of more intimate but quite graphic, and I think a lot of that is going to be chopped off, even though it's one of those rare times when I think those scenes actually matter for the character and for the development of the story.
So, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, did you get your fix out of that one?
I absolutely did. I'm not saying it's a perfect movie. In fact, I think they sort of push the twists and turns a little bit too far now and then, but otherwise I thoroughly enjoy it and I recommend it.
I also got my fix out of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I think you'd be hard pressed to find many critics that didn't like the film. The only thing is, it seemed like the beginning of the movie was really patient and deliberate, and then it got a little rushed in the end. And it also, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo became more of a Jason Bourne type character than I really wanted her to. And again, I'm not giving anything away because the second and the third movie are already out. Thanks for watching the Film Fix this week. I'm Jonathan W. Hickman, and this is Jeff Marker. And remember, you can always feed your film addiction by visiting dailyfilmfix.com.